I never told my daughter's fiancé who I really was. For nearly 3 months, I was the quiet man driving him to work every morning, listening, observing, learning exactly what kind of man my daughter had fallen in love with. He barely looked at me. To him, I was invisible, just another middle-aged driver trying to earn a paycheck. But one morning, one conversation changed everything. Because sitting in the back seat, laughing on the phone with his friend, he revealed a plan involving my daughter. A plan so cold, so manipulative, that I nearly slammed the brakes right there in the middle of the traffic. And in that moment, I realized I had only one mission left: protect my daughter before she married the wrong man. 3. Story. My name is Daniel. I'm 58 years old. Most people who meet me assume I'm just an ordinary man approaching retirement. Simple clothes, quiet personality, gray hair, nothing flashy, and I prefer it that way. What very few people know is that I spent 30 years building one of the largest logistics companies in the state. After selling the company, I made enough money to never work another day in my life. But money had never changed who I was. I always believed character mattered more than wealth, especially when it came to family, and family meant everything to me, particularly my daughter Emma. Emma was the best part of my life. Intelligent, kind-hearted, ambitious. She had lost her mother when she was young, and since then, it had always been just the two of us. I raised her with one lesson above everything else: never trust appearances. Judge people by how they treat others, especially people they think are beneath them. For years, she understood. Until she met Jason. Jason was handsome, charming, confident, too confident, the kind of man who always knew exactly what to say, and strangely, that worried me. At first, Emma was obsessed with him. She said he was caring, supportive, successful, everything she wanted in a partner, but something in my instincts kept whispering, something isn't right. I asked questions. Where did he work? What were his goals? What did he do before meeting Emma? His answers always sounded rehearsed. Perfect. Too perfect. I couldn't explain it, but I didn't trust him, so I did something unusual. I had a friend investigate him quietly. Nothing illegal, just background information. And what I found made me uneasy. Multiple short relationships, huge credit card debt, questionable business deals, a pattern of manipulating wealthy women. Yet, none of it was enough proof. Emma refused to listen. Then one evening she announced something that froze me. "Dad, Jason proposed." She was smiling, excited, happy, and I felt pure fear. I needed certainty, not assumptions. Then, unexpectedly, opportunity arrived. Jason's luxury car had broken down. His office was 40 minutes away. Transportation for a few weeks. That's when an idea formed. I owned several vehicles through old business connections. One of them operated as a private executive car service. So, the next morning, I wore an old jacket, simple glasses, changed my appearance slightly, and arrived. Jason opened the door, looked at me for less than 2 seconds, then sat down. No greeting, no eye contact, no respect. Interesting. The first few rides taught me everything. He spoke arrogantly, complained constantly, insulted waiters, insulted coworkers, talked endlessly about money, never once thanked me, never once asked my name. To him, I wasn't human. I was background noise. Then came the morning I'll never forget. It was raining heavily. Traffic moved slowly. Jason received a phone call. He assumed I wasn't paying attention. He laughed loudly. And then he said words I will remember forever. After the wedding, everything transfers eventually. I felt tension run through my body. He continued, "Her father's loaded. She doesn't know how easy this is." My hands tightened around the steering wheel. Then came the worst part. She thinks I love her. Honestly, once I secure the assets, I'll leave in 2 years. My heart stopped, but he kept talking. "Print up. Don't worry. I'm handling that." I couldn't breathe. This man wasn't marrying my daughter. He was planning to destroy her future. For 3 days I stayed silent. I needed a plan. Then Emma invited everyone to a family dinner celebrating the engagement. Perfect. Jason arrived smiling confidently, wearing an expensive suit, playing the perfect gentleman. He had no idea. Dinner began normally. Conversation flowed. Everyone laughed. Then I stood slowly, lifted my glass, and smiled. Jason, Before this marriage happens, I have something to share." He smiled politely. Then I placed a small speaker on the table, pressed play, and suddenly the room filled with his voice. After the wedding, everything transfers eventually. His face turned white instantly. Emma stared in disbelief. The recording continued. "She thinks I love her." Silence. Absolute silence. Jason stood quickly, trying to explain, but Emma stepped back. Tears filled her eyes. She whispered one sentence. "Get out!" Jason panicked, started begging, started lying, but nobody moved. Then finally, he turned toward me, confused, terrified, and asked, "How did you even get this recording?" I smiled calmly, looked directly into his eyes, and said words he would never forget. "Because I was the man driving you to work every morning." The entire room froze. Jason suddenly recognized me, but now it was too late. Security escorted him outside. Emma cried for hours. It broke me seeing her pain, but better heartbreak today than lifelong betrayal tomorrow. Months later, Emma thanked me. She said something I'll never forget. "You didn't save my money, Dad. You saved my life." And in that moment, I knew every second had been worth it. Sometimes the people who ignore ordinary strangers forget one dangerous truth. You never know who's quietly watching, and sometimes the man you underestimate can destroy everything you planned. So, remember this, never judge people by appearance. The person you treat like they don't matter may hold the power to change your future forever. And if someone truly loves you, they will never see you as an opportunity. They will see you as family. Tell me in the comments, what would you do if you discovered someone was secretly using your family? And don't forget, sometimes karma arrives quietly.